What is multiple inheritance? Multiple inheritance is when a derived class has two or more base classes. When one class is directly derived from one or from two or more than two base classes. Okay. A base class, however, should be thought of as the class that another class is directly derived from. What the second point means? The second point means like this, that let's suppose if we have class A, okay, and class B and class C, A B is inherited from A, C is inherited from B. So actually here it is not multiple inheritance, okay, and it is not that the A is not a base class for C. This is why you see a base class should be thought of as the class that another class is directly derived from. So C is only directly derived from B, even though indirectly it is derived from A also, but indirectly, not directly. So if is not directly derived, so A is not the base class for C. Okay, so multiple inheritance will be like this, that let's suppose A and B are here and this is C class, this one is C class, so the C is inherited from A also and the C is inherited from B also. At this time C has multiple base classes, so this is called multiple inheritance. Okay, so multiple inheritance like this. You see the first one, the left diagram, class A, class B, class C and class D. So this is called chain of inheritance. Chain of inheritance, and each class has actually one base class. The right side diagram is the actual multiple inheritance. Okay, so sometimes we need this like scenario, so that we need to inherit one class from multiple inheritance. So how to do that? How will be the C++ coding for that? The C++ coding for that is very simple, is almost the same. You see class cube inherited publicly from square, comma, you see only the comma is there, and then publicly from rect solid. If you want another one, third one, just put comma and another one, comma and another one, and so on. So this will be the way of multiple inheritance, and this is actually considered a multiple inheritance. Okay, so I will show you one example also. In multiple inheritance, the argument can be passed to both base classes. If you remember, passing argument to constructors and destructor, base class constructor and base class, yeah. So when we were calling base class constructor from child class, so here the situation will be a bit different. Here we will call two base class constructor, like you see cube, okay, this one. Now this is calling square, then comma, it is calling another parent. So to pass the arguments or call the constructors, it will also separate it by comma, like the inheritance. So base class constructors are called in order given in the class declaration. So not in the order used in the class constructor. Okay, this is very important point. You see here, we inherited the cube class first from square, then from rect solid. So the parent class constructor will be called in this sequence. Which one is the first parent? Square. It's the first parent constructor will be called. Then the child, then the second parent constructor will be called. Even though if you call the constructors like this, you can change the order. You can call this one first before this. But if you call also like this, it will not make this one to be called. No, it will follow the inheritance statement, that which one is the first parent and which one is the second parent and third parent. So the flow of execution, the flow of constructor calling is also in the same way. The order that base class constructor calls appears in the list doesn't matter, meaning to say we can change this order, but it doesn't matter. They are always called in the order of inheritance. So the class date, public date, class time constructor are always called in the reverse order. So okay, I will show you this example. Then hopefully we can understand. These examples are available in the book. I have shared in the ELIP also all these examples, and I sent the link to you. to all of you. And actually, in the previous segment, I sent one another link. I think I should share here also. This is one very nice link. This is the book student resources. Okay, so in this book student resources, you can download all the source code and very some other useful materials from here. Okay, so just to share with you that I have already shared all this coding with you. Now, from multiple inheritance, this one is date.h. Okay, so for example, we have date and time. Okay, so we will define one class for date, one class for time, and third class we will derive from both of them. Okay, so date class protected members. In date we are dealing with day, month, year. So constructor to initialize the day, month, year. There is one point, if you are if any one of you is reading the book, actually in the book this constructor is written wrongly. Okay, you see I have highlighted here also. In the book here they have given these arguments, but these arguments should not be in the, because default constructor don't have any argument. Okay, so this is a mistake in the book. Okay, so overloaded constructor will have argument. Only overloaded constructor will have argument. Default constructor don't have any argument. Okay, so accessor functions get day, get month, and get year. Okay, next class is time. In time we are dealing with second, minutes, and hours. So these are protected members. Default constructor with no argument, overloaded constructor with argument, and accessor function. Okay, now third class, which is derived from both. You see, date time, date time publicly derived from date, comma, time. So you see, we use the derivation, the derivation, the inheritance is in this order, that first date, then time. So therefore, this statement that the constructor and destructor will be okay, the constructor in the date and time class will must follow this link, and the destructors are always called in reverse order of the inheritance. Note the point. Destructors are called in reverse order and constructor are called in the same order that we have used during the inheritance. Okay, so you see in this date time class there is no private data. You see no variables, because the date is already defined here, the time is already defined here. So we just uses a constructor, a default constructor, which called date constructor first. Okay, and then the time constructor. You can actually change this order, but it doesn't matter. Overloaded constructor. Okay, date time, this overloaded constructor is defined outside the class here. Okay, and the show date time function is extra function. It is also defined here. Multiple inheritance, yeah. So in this integer main, we are implementing all these three classes: date class, time class, date time class, and here is the int main. So in the int main we created empty day, meaning to say we are not passing any argument, so all the default constructor will be called. So here the default constructor will be called which don't have any this one, which don't have any argument. So here don't have any argument, so the hours will be 0, minutes will be 0, seconds will be 0, and in the date is a bit different. You see, when no arguments, the day will be 1, month will be 1, and the year is 1900. You can, these are like default values. Okay, so when we don't initialize, the day, month, year will be 1 1 1900, and the time will be 0 0. Okay, so if we display it, so at the first time it will just display the 1 1 1900. Second time we pass a day, month, and year, and hours, minutes, and second. So it will go in the same order, and then to show again, this time will be like a past day. So let's run this one. Yeah, you see, and I hope you can see the output. So the first one is, you see, the time is 0 0 and the date is 1 1 1900, and in the second one is whatever date we have passed is the same one, whatever time we have passed is the same one. Okay, so this is called multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, the only point is, you see, this comma. Okay, and don't worry if we call like this. You see the constructor, parent constructor will be called in this order. If you want to change the order, you see, if let's suppose I change this date of after the put comma here and date here, it will still work. Okay, it will still work, but it will not change the order of this. You see, if I run this one again, it will still work, and in the same way. So the order of constructor is the same as the order of inheritance. Okay, but the destructors will be called in reverse order. You see, if you remember in the destructor previously, it was like this, that children were derived classes were deleted first, then parents were deleted. So here it will be like this, that the derived class destructor will be called, then the grandparent will be called, and then the parent will be called. It is in that way. So this is multiple inheritance. Okay, in multiple inheritance also there may be a problem. Okay, and the problem is again the same problem that we have discussed of redefining a function, uh, overriding. Overriding are the virtual functions. Okay, and the abstract base class. So the solution for that is that we should use the keyword override to explicitly tell the compiler that this function must be override. And if you override the function, that will be a virtual function also. And another point, if you want the confusion, if you don't want like this, that there should be a separate object for date only and separate object for time only. Okay, if you don't want like this and you want that the user should not create like that, then you can make these two as a pure virtual as a abstract base classes. And if you want to make these abstract base classes, then you can define this function which is like the show date time. You can define this function here in the both classes as a pure virtual function. So if you use the keyword override and the keyword final and the abstract base classes procedure, then you can better deal with the problems in multiple inheritance. Because in multiple inheritance the problems are like this, that maybe both parents will have some function with the same name. So if both parents have some same functions with the same name, let's suppose here is a y function, okay, and here is a y function, okay, and you derived another class from these two, then this class will actually get two y classes from two different parents. Okay, so at that time compiler will be unable to decide which one to call. But if you override these y functions here, so if it is override, then the object of child class can decide that which one should be called. So use overriding, and to make sure that overriding, meaning to say the dynamic binding, then use the keyword which is introduced in C++11, the word override. And if you want any function which should not be further override, then use the keyword final. Okay, so these all these instructions and points are given in this here, that it should be noted that multiple inheritance may have the opportunity, or there may be the opportunity of ambiguity. And one another tip is that if you want to access some specific class object, then you can use scope resolution operator with the class name and scope resolution operator. Then that particular that particular class function will be called exactly like the y here and y here. So if here from here you want to call y, okay, if you want to call y, then the compiler cannot decide I should call this y or I should call this y. So to remove this confusion, then you will have to use the scope resolution operator and the class name. For example, if you want to call this y, then explicitly use in this class the class name a, then scope resolution operator, and then the y function. So it means you are explicitly calling this y, not the y in B class. So this is the important point, that if there is any ambiguity like this, then use the class name and scope resolution operator. And note the point that the class name and scope resolution operator can only be used inside the class. In integer main cannot. So in integer main, if you want to remove this type of ambiguity, then use the override class, the override keyword, the final keyword, and the pure virtual function concepts. So you see, this is again just example that which one is chain of inheritance and which one is multiple inheritance. I hope you understand that the left one is a chain of inheritance and the right one is multiple inheritance. So if there is any question like this, so you should not be confused. It is the left one is not a multiple inheritance, because in multiple inheritance, the derived class, we should have direct base class, not indirect base class.